Hi, ladies, and welcome to week 3. Have you ever stopped to consider the incredible privilege we have as believers to access the presence of God? It's not a distant or inaccessible realm, but a reality that is available to us at all times. God is always with us, but every relationship requires intentionality. And it would be a tragedy to carry the presence of God and never fully access Him. Imagine the Holy Spirit as a roommate you see occasionally, perhaps briefly in the mornings or on Sundays, yet this analogy falls short of capturing the depth of our richness of our relationship with Him. It is like having a sip of water at the start and end of the day. You may survive, but you would be desperately dehydrated, right? And dehydrated Christians can find themselves going through the motions, attending events, meeting Christian standards, and even surrounded by other believers, all while never fully engaging with Jesus. Accessing His presence is not merely a religious activity or a checklist to be completed, but is a blood-bought and precious privilege that requires our active participation. We will never know the true spiritual vitality without accessing His presence, for it is in His presence that we find forgiveness, healing, transformation, and life. So imagine a life where you are consistently aware of God's presence, a life where you experience His love, guidance, and peace in every moment. This is not a far-fetched dream, but a reality available to each and every one of us. Accessing God's presence is not limited to a select few. It's an invitation extended to every believer. Yet, there are times when we struggle to fully embrace the truth. We may find ourselves caught up in the busyness of life, focusing on our own efforts and neglecting the very own presence that promises abundant life. However, God desires us to draw us into a deeper relationship with Him. He longs for us to access His presence, not out of duty or obligation, but out of a genuine desire to know Him intimately. He is inviting us into this next step, a place of profound connection and communion. To access His presence, we must first recognize that we are utterly dependent on Him. We acknowledge that He is the source of all wisdom, life, and strength, and in humility, we come before Him, surrendering our own plans and desires and yielding to His perfect will. Accessing God's presence also requires intentional effort. It is not a passive endeavor, but an active pursuit. We set aside dedicated time to seek His face, to read and meditate on His word, and to engage in prayer. These practices create space for us to encounter Him in a personal and transformative way. Additionally, accessing His presence involves developing a sensitivity to His leading and His voice. As we cultivate a lifestyle of listening and obedience, we become attuned to His gentle whispers and promptings. We learn to discern His guidance amidst the noise and the distractions of the world. Accessing God's presence is not limiting to a specific time or location. It is a continual journey, a daily adventure of discovering more of who He is. And we carry His presence with us wherever we go as we engage with Him throughout our day. We unlock the fullness of His love, joy, and peace. Furthermore, accessing His presence is not reliant on our own efforts or merits. It is in the result of His grace freely given to us through Jesus Christ. We can approach His throne boldly, knowing that we are welcomed and loved unconditionally. The writer of Hebrews reminds us in Hebrews 4:16, "Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that you may receive the mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." This verse emphasizes the incredible truth that we can boldly approach the throne of grace, not because of our own merit, but because of the finished work of Jesus Christ.